I retired rich at 37, and this is how I did it. Oh yeah, I am not 37 still, but I'm not too much older than that, and I am pretty much retired. I do exactly what I want in my business, and I want to show you exactly how you can do it too. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you 3 things that I learned that make me over $10,000 per month. I'm going to share with you the big secret that no one tells you about getting rich. I'm going to share with you the #1 thing that you need to give up if you want to get rich and retire. So there are so many benefits to being an entrepreneur. I literally have been able to quit my full-time job in corporate America where I had to be in an office and I had a boss. And even though I was a manager and a VP when I stopped working, I had a 6-figure salary in almost no time. It was so miserable. I had all of these kids and I felt like I was never getting a chance to see them. But now that I'm an entrepreneur, I literally own my time. Not only am I able to create the income that I want, there's no cap on my salary. If I want to make $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, or even if I just want to make $200,000, I get to decide my income. But more importantly, there are no limits or caps on my income. So as hard as I want to work, as much as I want to work is what I'm allowed to do. And as an entrepreneur, I've now been able to create other successful people. I now create jobs for people. I don't have to work in my business in order for it to be successful, and I'm able to duplicate my successes over and over and over again. In fact, I have over 7 businesses that I run right now. So being an entrepreneur has truly freed me up. It's created wealth, not just for me, but my kids and even my grandkids. Some of the money and things that I've set in place, we will be set for a very, very long time. So this is really what you want to start doing. Let's start focusing in on how you can become an entrepreneur. Let's get to that. So the way that I was able to become a millionaire and retire rich at the age of 37, meaning I do not have to work in my businesses in order for them to make money. So I'm pretty much retired. If I go into the office, it's fine. If I don't, that's fine too. But how I started all of this is I started my business while still working a job. I know that sounds crazy and maybe even counterintuitive, but I started my business while I still had a job. I knew and I had a plan. I was going to quit my job and I was going to be a full-time entrepreneur. I absolutely knew that. I set that as my goal and that was what I did. So I suggest if you want to retire rich and do it while you're still young enough to enjoy the money, start doing it now. I don't care how old you are. Like I said, I'm so much later than other people. I was 37 before I was able to really not work in my business. I stopped working in my mid-30s and I was officially a millionaire when I was 35. It really wasn't until I was about 2 years into it that my business didn't require me to work in the business in order for the business to make money. But again, in any situation, you want to start while you still have a job. That way you have money to fund what you're doing. Additionally, you have a pay stub, you have a W-2. There's things that you can do. You can start getting properties or getting inventory or borrowing money and using the income from that job in order to fund some of those other things. So if you have a job and you want to be an entrepreneur, don't just quit your job. Work on a plan. If you've already quit your job, let's talk about how you scale your business. So the next thing I did was I went from working to full-time entrepreneur. And you have to go all in. If you're saying that you want to get rich and retire, you're going to have to go all in. You're going to have to spend most of your time, your money, and your energy working on your business. So that's what I did. Even when I worked a job, I listened to Gary Vee and I did some of that stuff he said. I got off work at 5, played with my kids, played with the dog, then mazel tov, I worked on my business, just like Gary Vee told me. And I went to bed at midnight and then I woke up in the morning at 6 a.m. I did not watch TV. I did not hang with my friends. I didn't talk to my mom on the phone and all the stuff that I used to do to waste time. I just focused on my business. I went all in. And this is how you can easily start to transition from working to being a full-time entrepreneur. And then once I was a full-time entrepreneur, I was like a superhero because I was able to work a full-time job while being a wife, while having 3 kids and starting my business. As soon as I got rid of the job, my business blew up, y'all. It blew up because I was so used to being able to handle all of these different responsibilities that now once I had all of my time to focus on just my business, I was able to take my income from $400,000 to $1 million in 1 year, literally. So the number one thing that you are going to have to give up to make all of this happen, and how this really worked for me, is you are going to have to give up the old version of you. Yeah, I know. Think about that for a second. We all see ourselves as a certain person. Like I said, when I worked in corporate America, I worked in banking, I was a manager. And if someone asked me who I was and what I did, I told them, I work at a bank, I am a manager, or I'm an underwriter, I'm a mortgage this. And I had to let go of that. I had to get rid of that old version. When people asked me what I was and what I did, even when I had a job, I said, I'm an entrepreneur. I have this business. I do X, Y, and Z. I am this. Do not associate yourself to a job that you're leaving. You have to get rid of that. If there's something that you did and you're going to be doing something else, start becoming that. Start being that. Divorce yourself from that old version of yourself and marry the new version of you. Become that. When someone asked me who I was, I told them, I'm a real estate entrepreneur. That was it. Even if I had a job still at the bank, because guess what? In 6 months of me saying that, I didn't have that job at the bank anymore. So that is the biggest thing for most people to give up, is that old version of you. We're so used to telling people who we are and what we do, and we associate ourselves to this thing. And when you become a rich person that is retired, you really got rid of all of those labels. Now people ask me what I do. I say real estate entrepreneur, but it's a laundry list. I'm an author. I'm a speaker. I am a podcaster. I'm a YouTuber. I'm an Instagram influencer. I have so many different titles and hats. I own Airbnbs. I'm a real estate entrepreneur. I'm an investor. I invest in businesses. I own a salon. Like, I have so many different things that I do now. So you don't want to get so caught up in the old version of you because you're becoming a new version. So the number one thing, get rid of the old version of you. And then last but not least, once you create this core business, you have to start creating multiple streams of income around that core business. So how I really got rich, and again, took it to that next level, is I took my core business, which was real estate, and I had some rental properties and I had some Airbnbs, and I was making money with that. But what I started to do was add to that. First, I added events. I started showing people my fix and flips. I would put these little tours together and I would charge people $500 to come see my fix and flip. But I was bringing value. I was showing them how I got the property, how much I paid, where I got the materials from. I gave them a list of the contractors I used. I was helping them become a fix and flipper. Then I started speaking. Then I started writing books. Then I came on YouTube. I just let it grow and grow and grow. But again, my core business was real estate. Once you master something, you have a core business, you can start adding multiple streams of income from that core business. You just add complementary businesses. For example, if you have a real estate business, you can own a landscaping business or a cleaning company. If you have an Airbnbs, then buy a cleaning company. Again, get one source of income going, get that business going, and then add complementary businesses for multiple streams of income. So I have taught you so much, and I also created an entire course teaching you all of this. It was a little bit too long to put up here. It's about an hour long, but it's a free training. Noelle's free training. Go to noellsfreetraining.com. That's Noelle, Noelles, free, Free, training, Training, noellsfreetraining.com. Again, a complete course about an hour long where I'm teaching you my exact formula for starting in real estate with very little money and making big profits. Made it just for you. I want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the tools, and all of the knowledge that you need to be successful. This is Noelle, to your success.